Hey, good evening, everybody. We're here, so we've made
We
it.
made
Yeah,
it.
another week. Welcome to Paranormal Chat on Lost Limbs Foundation Radio Network.
Yes, thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate it. Real quick, shameless plug. If you haven't already started following the YouTube page, you should go and subscribe to the page and see all the episodes in case you missed any of them. Of course, you can see them here as well.
Yep, but you can go on the YouTube channel, and they're just all like right there, so it's easy. And subscribe
Yeah,
to that. Hit that little subscribe button, and you'll see when the next ones pop up on there, or if there's anything else we've got that we might throw up on the YouTube channel. You
yeah,
know,
you never know.
yeah, especially with the new season coming up, new year coming up, we'll start doing some other places and going some spots. So, who knows? We
Mhm.
might have some interviews, some live interviews going on with some people that we could toss up there.
Yeah, yeah, maybe some exclusive stuff to the YouTube page. Right? I can't even talk tonight.
Yeah, keep drinking, Mike. It's working out well for you.
And it's water, not moonshine or anything like that. So,
That's what he wants you to think, anyway. So,
yeah, in about 20 minutes, I'll be like, "What's going on?"
yeah,
Yeah. So,
so
how's Robin?
I'm doing okay, and but yep, it's keep me busy. So it's time to start that new season, a new year, and everything going out. So if you haven't booked things at Rose Hotel yet, do that. Um, Check out
Yes.
the website and give them a call. Talk to Crystal. Crystal books everything. Mike doesn't. Mike's there most of the time during investigations, but Mike, we don't let him book stuff. So we let Crystal do it. She's very well
we
organized. She does a
yeah,
good
we want
job
to
with
keep
it.
everything organized and
Yeah,
straight. Yeah.
so we don't have 25 teams showing up at one night. So
Yeah, I'll have a few of them show up and be like, "Oh, wait, this isn't." Yeah. But
so
speaking of other people showing up, just a quick thing to throw out there. On the 19th, I believe it is the date. I didn't write it down. Is the next public investigation? We still have some tickets left for that, as well as like you can book any of the other public investigations, and like Robin said, you can book private investigations as well for pretty much the whole entire year, whenever you want. Check out the calendar and see what's open.
yep, and yeah, if you're looking at Ashmore States, which we're about 2.5 hours apart, so you can kind of hit both of them at the same time almost. And in fact, we've had
Yeah.
some people start doing that. And but yeah, contact me. I think we've just booked our last Saturday we had available between March and October today. We've got November Saturdays that are open, which they'll all book. I know that they're going to book; they always do. But
Yeah.
we've got a couple Fridays left, but I think all the Saturdays are gone until November. That includes March, and we hardly ever book in March, and because there's no heat out there. And this year we've booked some dates in February and January, not February yet, but yeah, we've had 3 investigations in January. But it's kind of amazing because these people have said that they've caught some really cool stuff in January out there
Huh.
with the cold weather. And
Yeah.
one of the guys sent me and he's going to put it out there. He'll have it out on his YouTube channel. He's going to send it to me, let me know what he does. But he caught an incredible shadow figure. I mean, it takes a lot to wow me with some of this stuff because
Yeah.
I'm kind of skeptical when I see other people's stuff and all, but he sent to me and it's just incredible. I mean, I was really shocked with it. And in fact, I had to ask him like
Awesome.
3 times. I was like, that has to be one of you guys walking in front of the camera. And he's like, no. He said, we were all sitting down. And he said, but yeah, and then there's just, and I told him I won't say too much about it because he wants to kind of bring it out there, but it's a great shadow figure. So looking forward to seeing that when he gets it all put
Yeah,
together.
I can't wait to check that out. That'll be awesome. That'll be really cool. Yeah, and then you've got the Unity event coming up in just over a week.
Yeah, February 5th. And we might have a couple extra tickets to that available. It usually sells out. Everybody buys their tickets. Like it happens on February 5th this year. And then next year, February 12th. We're going back the day before Super Bowl, which was what it was this year. They added an extra game to the schedule, which Tim Miley told me about. I didn't realize it because I really don't watch football much. But yeah, they added an extra game to the schedule, which kind of screwed me up because I always plan everything a year ahead. And I've already looked to see when the Super Bowl is from 2023. And so next year it'll be our 10th anniversary, 10th year we've done it. and we've got some special guests coming in. We're doing some things a little different for that 10th year. So if you
Cool.
want tickets to that, you're going to have to be on the Eventbrite website at 11:30, not 11:31 or 11:32. You're going to have to be there at 11:30 to get those tickets. And because that's when they'll go on sale on February 5th at 11:30 for 2023. And if you think I'm joking with you, they will all be sold out
They
on
will.
on February 5th. They'll
Yep.
be for next year, they'll be gone. And
Oh yeah.
uh, we, I've changed into things a little bit. I'm not going to say anything, tell you what I'm changing, but we're changing a couple things with it this year for next year, and I'll announce that on February 5th. And but yeah, it's going to change a little bit, which might make it easier for some people to get tickets, but they're still going to be gone. And we're also going to, I think I'm going to stream it that day too. We're going to stream, we try to do that all the time, but I think we'll stream it on February 5th as well. So you'll be able to watch everything we're doing on February 5th, um, on Facebook. And we'll put it out here just like we're doing the show here. We'll have it streamed so you can watch the event we're doing February 5th here at the theater. So it'll be a lot of fun, and it'll be a
Yeah.
good time. So hopefully the weather holds out and everybody has it, but it'll work.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not freezing and then the negative temperatures like tonight.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Craziness.
a little cool. Yeah, I think it's
Mhm.
yeah, it's supposed to get pretty cool here the next day or so, but then it's supposed to warm up. I think we're supposed to get like at 40 again on Thursday or something like that.
Yeah. Crazy weather. No
So
wonder everybody's coughing and like all this craziness because the weather keeps changing. It's like tonight, -20 for the wind chill. And then, like you said, they were saying on the news earlier with the weather and stuff, going to be up like close to 50 next week. So hopefully that holds out and the weather's decent for next weekend.
yeah, I was looking at the February's the AccuWeather, if you can believe anything there. But I was looking at AccuWeather and what the weather forecast was for February, for some personal reasons, and it was actually looking pretty good. I mean, there were some days that it's going to be high 30s, 40s, and even a couple of 50s in there. So if they're right or close to being right, the weather in February should be pretty decent. Which
Yeah, I hope
means
so.
March will be just an S show. So
Probably. Yeah, it'll be all nice for February. And it's like, hey, guess what? Here's March.
yeah.
Just throw this at
So
you.
March will come in and say, "Oh, you thought February was nice, huh? Well, watch this." So
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like last year. Remember what was it, April, when we got over a foot of snow here, just out of nowhere. It's just like, let's just dump a foot of snow out here. Yeah, it was crazy.
yep.
On the back door I have, like you open it up and there's like all this snow that's piled up. Yeah, it's craziness.
But yeah, well, yeah. In fact, well, I've got some people already kind of popped in there with comments and all. So, hey, it's nice to see you
Yeah,
guys in there, Carl and Scott, Terry, Michelle. So, thanks for joining
yeah,
us.
yep.
And
Thanks for tuning
others
in.
that are on there that haven't made any comments, but we'll bring Christopher in, and then they will have. So, and
Yeah.
Kristen said yeah, she said she's looked ahead too. Um, see, it didn't look too bad either. So it was not looking too bad at all. And
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen that profile picture before. I think that might have been at Ashmore in last November.
Oh
So,
yeah.
oh, your
Cool.
mom's in here now. We got to be careful. Mom's here.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Mom's hanging out.
well, I think we let's bring Christopher in and get the
Yeah.
night rolling.
Yep. Let's
So,
get him in.
oh, there he is. Okay, he kind of wandered away for a second there. I seen him in here now, so he's back now. So there he is.
Hey,
What's
hey,
going on?
hey guys, how are you?
Not too bad. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. And I know
Good.
about the weather, man. I was listening to you guys. Yeah, it's up and down, isn't it? It's all over the place.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
you've actually had a lot of snow in your area.
Yeah, it was fun. I love the snow. I mean, I don't like necessarily the freezing rain, but I love the snow. It's fun. I was hoping it would have snowed when Gabriel was down here, but it didn't. I'm afraid he just missed it. But I like it. It's fun. I get to like hit Phil with a big snowball all the time. So
Yeah, you better watch it. I think I see snow on the trees out behind you. You'll probably end up with a snowball in your face here in a minute. So,
yes, yes.
Bring one inside. Just
yep. So I like the studio setup in there and behind you and all. That's great.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
I got a whole new studio. I've been actually rebuilding it for like almost a year, and I pretty much got rid of everything and got all the latest cool technology that I've always wanted. It's kind of one of the things, every time you do a birth year, you're going like, I don't know how long I got, so I'm going to do it now. So that's
I
kind
know
of
what
what
that's
I
all
did.
about.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. I've just been getting the latest and the greatest, and also we're in post production, so I kind of need it too. So
Yeah, looks good.
thank you.
Because you guys do all, I mean, we'll kind of get into the film stuff too, but you guys do all your own editing and production and everything yourselves, don't you?
Yeah, we do pretty much everything. I mean, it's not that because we want to. It's just because it well, I've been doing it for like forever, and Philip's been doing it forever. So it's like you kind of know what you want. It's not like I don't want to be like a micromanager in any way. It's just I kind of know what I want. I know where it is. I know what I'm looking for, and I don't know if you can really see it, but I got a lot of maybe I can pan it down here and see. These are all new automated boards, and they do everything. And then recently, actually, as of last week, I added, which you would, Robin, I think you'll find is cool, Dolby Atmos.
Okay.
And Dolby Atmos and 3D, which Amazon now does 3D, and Apple Music does Dolby Atmos, and then of course that's also a cinematic thing too. And in surround sound, it's a channel, right? It goes to 5 channels or 7 channels or 9 channels. Atmos is an environment. So you're not really going left, right, rear, back, center. You're putting it where you want it around you. It looks like a room, and you say, I want it to sound like it's here or here or here. And that to me opens up a whole new, creativity flow. I'm going like, wow, this is great. I can create stuff that's literally crawling all around you. And that's exciting. So, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That'd be
So
really
now,
neat.
yeah, you guys, the attached was released. Was it last year? I kind of lost track of time, but it's in 20 or 2021
Well,
it was
the
released.
attached still hasn't been released yet because we were still waiting on streaming on the network, but it actually had a soft DVD release, and that was October, I think it was last year. And it's still, because it's still in the film festivals, and it's building all the awards up. So before we officially really go out and release it, whether we stream it or Travel Discovery streams it, or Paramount Plus, who I'm talking to now, I want it to gain awards. I want it to keep picking up all the awards, and it's been doing pretty well. So it's going to be released streaming hopefully this year, very shortly.
So yeah, that's great. I mean, I was fortunate enough to have a couple parts in that, be involved in it, and what I enjoyed more, and this sound a lot of strange, probably, or sounds strange with a lot of people, but I enjoyed being on the set behind the scenes more so, just learning from you and Philip with what you're doing and how you're doing it, more so than just being in front of a camera.
Yeah, I actually, it's funny. I don't know if I ever told you, but it's like I never ever wanted to be in front of the camera. I really am not savvy to. It's not really my cup of tea. It's just that when we were shooting, Children of the Grave and Spooked, and we were trying to explain to all the people what to say and do, and how it's like I'm doing it. I said, oh, fuck it. I'm just going to go out and say it and do it. And so that's how it started. And the network said, well, you guys kind of look entertaining. You stand in front of the camera. You guys look like, rock stars or whatever. You go do it. And then we started doing it in front of the camera. But I never really, really enjoyed it. I definitely prefer working behind the camera. I've been doing it since the 1980s. So it's like, that's why I really enjoy behind the camera. And of course, we've learned a lot of tricks. As you probably saw Seasoned. We just kind of go out there and just get it done. And this latest film, Never Blink, is definitely our most ambitious and intense film we've made yet. So yeah.
I'm like Robin. Like, I like seeing the behind the scenes stuff. Like, even because you guys, like, we did 2 things here. One thing, I'm going to say thanks, like, right off the bat, for you supporting the charity like you do.
Yeah.
And one of those things being when we did the promo for the charity that people see, like we show at the end of the show. you guys did that, and then the other thing was the commercial that you shot upstairs in the bathroom. And that was cool to just sit and just be able to just watch everything that's going on. And you get to watch see the final product put
I'll have to
together.
send it to you. Yeah, you guys probably not saw the final product. I have to send it to you. It turned out fabulous. It was like a little miniature horror movie, and it was turned out really, really fabulous. But the Rhodes Hotel has so much charisma and so much, as far as filming it, it looks great on camera, and every angle looks great, and it's not a movie I don't watch when I'm saying I'm watching on Netflix and something's about a hotel of that era that I'm going, that looks like a Rose Hotel, that's the hallway and those are the bedrooms and how cool it could be, and and it is to film it. And so it's a very charismatic place, so it made it very simple.
And like, and Robin probably going to say the same thing with this. I mean, the work that you guys put into everything. I mean, you make everything like perfect, exactly the way you get that vision for it. Like, because even like when you're doing the commercial, I remember there was one thing remember the window was open and the sun was like hitting the church over there and bouncing back, and you kind of wanted that moonlight effect from it. And it was crazy, like how you guys made that change on how it wasn't actually looking the way you wanted it to look. And then you switch things up and you actually got that to work out exactly how you wanted.
Shooting in the daylight's always the most difficult, especially against windows. Everything gets blown out. We want to see what's outside the window, but it's almost impossible without NDing down. You ND down, then you got to light the front. So it takes time. And I just think that where we're at, especially with what we're doing, we want what we want. I'm not going to settle. I don't need to settle. I don't have anybody that's saying, obviously I maybe so on some of the bigger films where they're watching the budget and they're going, hey, move on. But even at that point, you got to say, look, do you want it done right or do you want to do it quick? And I don't want to do it quick because we wouldn't put our name on it. Like when you see Never Blink, the attached turned out fabulous. I mean, it was very, very high end, and the Never Blink's even more every shot because it's a creature movie. So we've never really done a creature film per se, where there's this thing that's lurking in the blink. When you blink, it's right there. So everything has to be, done right. We don't want it to, come across, like this film or maybe a little cheesy here or whatever. A lot of creature films do. This is, so we are working so hard on the lighting and everything to make it absolutely so scary and so tense, but it takes time. It really does,
Well, it's like when you guys shot one of my favorite movies that you guys did was Dead Still. And it's more of a feature film, like Never Blink. I kind of look at The Attached as kind of a documentary type of film in a way, is what I'd look at it myself. But Dead Still and then Never Blink are going to be basically two feature movies. And I thought Dead Still was just incredible watching that and seeing how you guys shot that.
Yeah, well, Dead Still was an honor to work with Ray Weiss. Not so much Ben Browder, but Ben Browder is great. But Ray Weiss was my hero, one of my heroes. Actually, Sid Haig was supposed to be that part, but we felt that Ray Weiss was more of that old, Victorian gentleman. And so Ray did it. And I remember when I first met Ray, I had never met him until I got to New Orleans, and we got right off and went to his hotel. We brought him his wardrobe to do a wardrobe fitting, and I needed to see what it looked like in case there was any problems. And he came out and he had his little white beard, and he never had a beard before. And I went, oh, you grew it? He goes, yeah, I wanted to look the part. And he told me he studied everything about postmortem photography, and he was so into it. And, of course, as Robin knows, probably better than anybody, the camera was one of the main stars. And right. The camera was built from different parts of real Victorian death photography cameras put together, and then obviously spruced up to look like, the alien hero prop with, moving legs, with the cloth of legs and the whole stand that was done by Maurice, who did an incredible job building the stand. But that camera was when you pulled that camera out, all of the stars and everybody's like, whoa. And I go, yeah, right. And they would just stare at it and like, wow. Because, you know, the interest of postmodern photography is really fabulous. First of all, it's upside down when you take pictures, and you know it's on a lead form of mercury on the back, and you know it takes time, and it's a whole art craft, not like it is today where you pull out your iPhone and da 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 and da da da. You know, so it's one of my favorite movies. Probably my favorites is Death Tunnel because it was really heavy shooting it. You know, it was the first time we did something paranormal, and I didn't know it till we were down there shooting it, and then things started going crazy, and of course the first time I experienced, you know, the Midwest and the Midwest people and the Kentucky people, which were really beautiful people, and they're all sweet. Everybody was great. So that was my most memorable, you know, movie.
That was the first thing actually that I watched with you guys, and then I went back for Children of the Grave, and then of course Spooked. You know,
But Death Tunnel
Ghost
was
Waverly Hills.
not really meant to be paranormal. It just you guys ended up with paranormal experiences from shooting Death Tunnel.
Yeah, well, see, Death Tunnel was originally supposed to be like a theft movie, an art heist. One of the producers, who was a local in Kentucky, had heard of Waverly, but they wanted to use the location as like an art museum, and they wanted to do some kind of a pirate art heist in it. And I said, okay, cool. So we went down to look at the location. It was from Los Angeles. He was living in LA now. And I started finding out what happened, you know, in Waverly Hills. And I had to turn to him. I said, dude, you got to write a movie about this. This is far more intriguing than an art heist. This is like, wow, you know, and this is before even ghost hunters went there. Nobody had gone there. It was only Keith Age that was being the resident ghost hunter who introduced us pretty much to the paranormal. And it wasn't till Grant and Jason and the original Ghost Hunters came after we had filmed Death Tunnel and Spooked. And so when it all aired originally on Sci-Fi Channel, we had finished Death Tunnel, but Sony Pictures bought Death Tunnel, and then the documentary of what it was like filming a horror movie in a real haunted place was turned Spooked. And Sci-Fi picked up Spooked. So Spooked aired on Sci-Fi Channel, and it had this big debut, but Ghost Hunters slipped right under and played first. So it was actually really cool though, because it was like the Ghost Hunters are doing like, this is Waverly Hill Sanatorium. They did their little special and it finished. And Grant turned to the camera and goes like, this is overwhelming. I don't know what's going to top this. And then Spooked came right after that, played right after that. And, you know, and Spooked, I believe Spooked paved the path for many paranormal shows and documentaries after that, because of our style of, you know, presenting it that way. And then, you know, Waverly became what Waverly is today.
When you pick out some locations and all when you're shooting, because you're doing indie films, and for the most part, and so you don't, you know, I would say that you're probably more of the higher budget type indie films than some of the guys that are doing it for, you know, a few $1,000s. How do you look for locations, and how do you know, what makes you decide to go to certain places?
Charisma, vibes, obviously prices too. I mean, doesn't matter how much money you have, if the location's too much, you're not going to shoot there. You know, I mean, you only have so much budget. And also, if you're with how Waverly happened, is Waverly was never shot before. Neither was the original Exorcist house. You know, nobody had ever filmed any of these things. And we were the first people ever made a motion picture out of Waverly Hills and did a documentary there far before everybody else started going there. And same with the Exorcist house. So I look for the story behind the thing. It's like Ashmore Estates, incredible story behind it. And we did that in Children of the Grave too, even though it was supposed to be in Children of the Grave 1, and it actually was going to be in Soul Catcher too. but it ended up having its own show because it was so strong. But it's a charisma and it's a story behind it, and the redemption factor of the location, because you can shoot a location, but the story's got to be intriguing. What happened there, especially if you're writing, or maybe even the spirits are writing your story as you're actually scouting the location. Things starts to happen, and you can maybe even put them into your script. So I think it's intriguing. I've always wanted to shoot at Transallergenic Lunacy Asylum in Virginia, but the price was way too high for us to need to shoot there, so we never ended up shooting it. And we almost were. We were actually going to be the first ones to film there ever. That's when the father owned it before Rebecca got it off of her dad. But yeah, so it's really a story behind it, the intriguing, and what you can turn, like Collingwood's Art Center, the story behind the nuns and how that became it, which is where we shot a lot of Never Blink. And then the second part of Never Blink, we shot it at an Lutheran high school that was blown up. It was incredible because it was very Resident Evil, but it matched Collingwood exactly. So we were able to turn Collingwood in the Resident Evil version of what the Collingwood was in the present day, of like a medical office. And then when it was all in the Blink world, when it's all destroyed, that was the abandoned school, and it looked identical side by side after we put all the sets and props in it. So, again, charisma. We shot at the Linda Vista Hospital. I don't know if you guys knew that. The Linda Vista Hospital in Los Angeles was dark place.
Okay.
And we were one of the first to shoot before they shot Pearl Harbor there and many other movies there. That was a creepy place too.
I can't imagine like having deadlines and then knowing how you want certain scenes to look or whatever, I mean, because like just like what I was talking about earlier, like snags, like when you were here, like doing the commercial with the sun hitting, the building over there, and you're wanting moonlight, effect on there. I can't imagine like having these deadlines and then, you hit snags, and then that's that much more pressure on you to like, oh, wait, we got to get this done.
Well, the biggest snag of this has been COVID. That has changed a lot of budgets and a lot of energy and time. And then, of course, I'm not saying, a lot of different cancel culture, a lot of different things like that, movements and stuff that, which I think it's needed, but sometimes I think it's gone overboard. I have to say that carefully, but I do think it's going overboard. And now it's like, everybody, has got to do this and do this and do that. And what's happening is there's a lot of creativity suffering because now you can't write about it. You can't depict it because people think you depict it in the wrong way, even though you're just telling history, But, so even when it comes to on the set, there's double the agents, double the managers, double the rules and the regulations. And you're just going, fuck, I used to just grab cameras and go down, film, everybody would have fun and come back with a masterpiece and everybody would be proud. Now it's like, really? It's like, oh my God, we're going to do all this and do this and do this and do that. I mean, when we shot at the Rhodes, that commercial, that was, our personal team. So it was, the actors and the actresses and the crew, we had as you know, Mike, we had a great time. It was just, it was easy and everybody enjoyed it. And Never Blink, not so much. It was a lot more rules and regulations. And of course we were shooting very long hours because we had to. And what started out to be, an 8-day turned out to be a 12-day shoot. Days went as long as over 16 hours. And we had to do it, But I know everybody's going to be proud of it when they see it, because you're doing an alien science fiction creature movie, and the budgets alone on that, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, $1,000 more in an independent film than you would if it was just like a, slasher horror movie or something like that. Because, and we were lucky though with Never Blink has so much great actors. The actors are all great, and they're all European, pretty much, except a couple of the leads are from New York, but most of them are from like Australia, England, and all that like that. So it's a very international movie. It's intense. It's very intense.
Can't wait to see that one.
Well, tell us a little bit about it, and then we'll play the trailer, and just so everybody can see that. You can talk about that then too.
Were you able to get Never Blink trailer?
I think so. Yeah, I think I've got it.
Oh, very cool. Never Blink is exactly what that would be. Is that it was based off real science fact that when you blink, it's about 0.3 seconds. So if you add that out throughout the minute, the hour, and the day, you're about blinking for 48 minutes a day. So you actually blink 48 minutes a day. So when you blink, you actually go into a little darkness. And if you added that up, you'd be missing 48 minutes in blackness in your life each day. So we've had, basically the concept is that we want to find out if something happens when you blink, if something moves, is there a different world inside there that you're not seeing? And we found a way to record the blackness when you blink, and it's a whole new world, and it's very scary.
Let me see if I can get it up, and then we'll see what we can do here with it. Let me try it here, and I think I can pull it up. We'll play it in the trailer.
The Attached, which had these haunted objects in, started as a feature film. But it went so overwhelmingly full of emotion and different. The story behind the story grew so much. Philip and I have always wanted to make a television series. Something like The Twilight Zone of Black Mirror, or even a supernatural, more so Stranger Things. So we needed something, I would say epic, at least. I mean, just overwhelmingly epic. So we were looking for haunted items or strange and unusual oddities. And suddenly we came across something that nobody wanted in their house. Nobody would touch it. They were scared of it.
I'm getting out of this room.
And this thing was actually the real exorcism box of Annalise Michel, which is the real Emery Rose. I mean, whether it's the Annalise Michel exorcism box that was in the actual room when she had this intense possession. I mean, if it can talk. And that's what we're going to show you. It's going to tell its story.
He told me it was John Wayne Gacy. I was so scared.
Something was pushing me away.
It followed me home.
always need to be careful what you may bring home.
Okay, now I have no idea how that ended up on there. So
That's
I
all
was
right. That's
waiting on
the,
that.
you didn't know Robin Terry's and Never Blink as well.
it's like I watched this whole video this morning to make sure that it was working right,
Oh, it's no
and
worries.
then that comes up. I'm like, what
That's
the hell?
well, that's the attached anyway, so everybody can see. That's the attached.
I'm gonna see if I've got the other one here. And let me just see if this one pulls up for me. Where's everything going here? Let me get out of this. Don't believe that. Okay, I'm gonna try something else here and see if it's I think I might have it, but I'm gonna kind of, I don't know. Nope, that's I just downloaded the one that Philip sent me earlier. That's the same one.
Well, that's all right. We got a lot of time to promote Never Blink anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, we have to do that because for some reason it just didn't pop up for me like it was
No,
supposed
that's all right.
to.
Never Blink
It was weird though.
is going out to the market in the next couple of months. So, and then Attached will be streaming it probably the next couple of months. So, yeah, but both of them have been very incredible because the Attached, is a very heavy subject matter, and because Robin owns a lot of, storytelling items, and the Rhodes Hotel would make a perfect, museum. Actually, one of those rooms could be a great small museum there.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to be doing the museums now.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot more of that happening all the time.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting rid of everything. I'm kind of like, I'm done. I've done it, been there. I get more equipment. I'm getting into more of the equipment than the haunted stuff.
Yeah,
Robin will make room for it.
It's nice to have that stuff. Do what?
I said Robin will make room for it.
Yeah, that's.
He's got. Well, I mean, I could only imagine being in his basement at night. It's so like, wow, there's so much energy from all those different things that he has. Did you ever take that autopsy table from Ashmore? Did you take it home or?
Yeah, it's in my garage right now.
Oh,
and,
wow. Yeah, that's heavy.
And my garage is the typical garage, as you both have been there. So yeah, it's we do a lot of stuff. It'll be out there on the 5th, and it's sitting out there. And one of these times I'll probably take it down to the basement, with some of their stuff. But my basement's a little different too, between autopsy tables, because there's 2 of them down there right now. If I take that, that'd be 3 autopsy tables. I think I've got 3 coffins, 3 or 4 skeletons hanging around.
Jeez. God, the partridge in the pear tree. Jeez.
So yeah, it makes it interesting. It makes a lot of interesting conversation when you take people to the house that want to see things.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
So Never Blink, you said you guys can have that up and out before too long, as far as out to the different film festivals and everything.
Yeah, Never Blink will be hitting the festival market hopefully in about 3 months or something, and it'll be going through. We're going to enter it in Sundance and Cannes, and we're going to go through because I follow obviously a lot of being a producer. I follow a lot of the trades, so there's a big horror movement going on now in Sundance and in Cannes. In fact, the Palme d'Or award was won by several very strange independent horror films, and there's a reason why. There's an article that came out, I think it was on don't know if it was on about Netflix, but there's a reason why there's a lot of very different movies out there now, because people are getting tired of the same formula and they want to see something different. They want to see a different kind of story. There's all kinds of weird movies coming out now. Not saying that ours is weird, because it's more psychological and very scary. Our main thing is to make this film so that you'll never be able to blink again, because you're going to know what's there waiting for you. So it's a whole marketing campaign, and it's based off a SCP character, Secure, Contain, Protect, which is, anybody that knows video games knows that. And it's based on video game concepts, because there's a video game that we're doing with it as well. So it's a whole big universe that we're attempting to put out there, because it's just a very intense thought to think there's another world every time. Even in the paranormal world, as you know, I mean, when I was at one of the best pictures I've ever taken was at Robbins Ashmore Estates, was the Vortex picture.
Right.
And you look at the frame rate on it, and that's basically a blink. So the concept, even in paranormal, is that things can enter and exit when you blink. It's out of the corner of your eye. And how do they get in and out without you seeing them? Well, there is a moment that you go in total blackness. You're not seeing, and that is a different perception, sort of a paradigm vortex type world. So it all, has a coinciding connection in our movie about this other world that you actually end up going into when you blink, and now you're there and you have to deal with it. Whether your food is fresh here and your food is rotting on that other side, whatever it may be. So it's very heavy. It's very fun. Then doing the music for it is so exciting, because it's a whole different warp of this world is this way, and then the blink world is the same world but warped and twisted, and it's a lot of fun doing that.
So where did you come up with this idea with Never Blink to begin with?
In my mind, it just I do a lot of brainstorming, and I came up with the idea, and then my partner and investor was listening to a bunch of our ideas. We're working on several different movies now, and she said, well, I really like that idea. And I go, oh yeah, that's right, we did do that idea. And I went, well, let's do that one first, because we had just finished a Possessed story, which is kind of like The Attached. The Attached is obviously about things you bring home and what it does, it affects you, and how it changes your life, including Annalise McKell, the real Emily Rose Possession. So I didn't really want to jump to another. We were going to do something about possession, but there's a twist on this story. It's really incredibly commercial twist, but I didn't really want to do that right now. I want to do something different, so we went ahead and did Never Blink. But basically, it was just something I was thinking about that, and then we started looking at the science facts, and it's really true. There's a whole meta universe going on now, and if you notice, everything is about meta universes now. Whether it's Spider-Man or Facebook, everybody's into it.
What can we expect, premiere wise, for it?
Well, we're probably going to do a premiere at Collingwood's Arts Center, because it's those who don't know who Collingwood Arts Center is, it's in Ohio. I believe it's Collinswood, isn't it? Is it Collinswood?
Yeah,
Where is it? No,
Collinswood.
Toledo,
Yeah.
right? Sorry,
Toledo, Ohio is where it's at, right?
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, Toledo, Ohio, and it has a theater in it, a huge theater, huge, and it has the projection screens and everything. So we've been thinking about doing a premiere there, and then maybe even do a ghost hunt after it, which would be fun. But
That'd be
again,
awesome.
everything's dealing with this COVID stuff. Everybody keeps opening and closing, and so we don't really know, where that's going to be, when we're ready to do this. So we'll see.
Mike, your mom's got a question for Christopher.
Oh, cool.
I do. I play. Hi, Patsy. I played. I started playing bass when I was 13. I started in the doing music when I was like, Philip and I, when we were 4, we were like in front of the television doing Beatles songs with all plastic guitars, and that's what. And then we started really getting to rock and roll because our older brother was a drummer. So I became a bass player, and I played bass, and I still have bass guitars and that. And then I realized nobody seemed to care about singing, you know. So I became a singer, and then I became a piano player, and then I started doing more than popular music. I started doing, soundtrack music where the computers will actually play any instrument I want, but I play it via keyboard. But and I also have a couple of guitars. I'm not very good, but I have a feeling, I guess, like a perfect circle type energy when I play. I love the D tune and all that kind of stuff. So I play a little bit of everything, but my main instrument is piano.
I think I've got a couple of records that you made back in the day of Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, you do, and probably Alley Brat too.
Yeah, that's one of them, I believe. So, yeah. Back when the in the tight pants and
the Rod Stewart hair and makeup and the tight spandex pants and the Aquanet hairspray, But I was lucky because the day I turned 18, I played in front of 20,000 people, and that was overwhelming for me. The day I remember because we were doing Sweeney Todd's the gold record. They had a gold record, and it was called Roxy Roller. And I replaced Bryan Adams. Bryan Adams was a singer, and Nick Gilder was the original singer. If you know Nick Gilder, he did Hot Child in the City and some other music. The songs I Am the Warrior. He's quite a good writer. He moved to LA, and now he's back in Canada. Then Bryan Adams took his place, and then Bryan Adams actually got fired, and I took Bryan Adams' place, and Bryan Adams became who Bryan Adams is today. And then I became the singer of Sweeney Todd. And the day I turned 18, we went out there to do the singles, and on the single, I needed to change in my new clothes. For this, we had like changed 5 different clothes. You know what I mean? Different outfits, and on the single,
nothing unusual there.
No, I went out to change in a white suit, right, for the single, and I went into the Winnebago that was parked outside the arena. It was our dressing room, and I went in there, changed, and I went to go back on stage, and the door was locked. I couldn't get in, and I'm banging on the door, and the security guard opens up and goes, "What do you want?" I go, "I got to get back on stage." And he goes like, "You can't get in there." And I go, "I'm in the band," right? Deep realized that. So I eventually got in, and then I ran on stage in the middle of the single, and the bass player had to cover the vocals until I got there. That was a tragic experience for me on my first show when I was 18, but it got better after
that would suck.
Patsy said she did. Yeah, your mom said she didn't realize you made records. I should probably run back into the other room and pull a couple of those out.
Yeah, I have a lot of them on the walls.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I have both Sweeney Todds and Alley Brats, and then we have our movies on the walls here. But I still make I make CDs still now. Not much really movement on CDs. Like movies now, it's all streaming. Everything's
Right.
streaming. But music is my first love, and it always will be. And that's why I think I don't know if Robin probably knows. I don't know if Mikey knows. We've talked quite a bit. The Attached took us about 4 years to make. And it was basically because we were doing other things, and then obviously I went through different changes in my life, and then I really wanted to take a break and focus on what I really love to do, because when you go through anything that changes your life, and I think everybody's gone through something like that in their life, you start to really weigh out, what do I really want to do, and who do I really want to be, and can I do it and still make a living? Can I do it and still and do it? And for me, we're always involved in the paranormal, so if I wanted to just doing music, which I would love just to do soundtracks, or even when we produce horror films, it's a switch from the paranormal. And do we lose our audience or do we not? I don't know. But there's a point sometimes you kind of don't care because you just want to do what you've got to do. And that's happened with the Beatles, right? Happened with John and George and all that stuff. You know, I'd watch Get It, you know, Let It Be, right, on Disney Channel. And
Right.
it's very long. It didn't need to be that long because it was a lot of just, you know, fly on the wall stuff. But it's fascinating to realize how your personalities change and how you want to go your own direction, because it's important to you, especially as you're growing and you're getting on in your life. And so I decided that I wanted to really focus on music, and I put out Elysium, and that did very well. It made top 10 in Apple Music, which was great. And that did very well for me. And that was released last year too. So I just, you know, I love doing, you know, anything creatively, but I'm also focusing a lot on music because it makes me very happy.
Yep. You have to do what makes you happy.
Yep, exactly.
No, well, I think you do. You know, I think you do. I mean, you know, I can't tell you. It's like, you know, when you watch a lot of the same stuff going on television, especially in reality shows, and, you know, the different formats and what they're doing is cookie cutter. That doesn't thrill us as artists in any way. We don't want to just make something that looks like everybody else's stuff. What we create, you know, it has to be epic, but epic takes time and epic takes money.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah. Always chase your dreams. Exactly. Yeah.
Hi, Shelley. Shelley knows, I think Mike knows about it, and Robin, you know about it. But Shelley and I went on a little private ghost hunt at Toledo, Ohio, at the Collinwood. And that's probably pretty creepy. You know, when we're shooting Never Blink, a ghost of a nun attacked Philip. And there was a lot of roughness on shooting that show there because of the aura in the air. Caused a lot of confusion and, you know, oppression. It was hard to film there. We got it done, but it was difficult. It was difficult. We actually also filmed, if you know, Rob, in the area, there was a building outside of
Right.
Collinwood that abandoned, or that
That brick building that's out there.
Yeah, we're filmed in that as well, and that was pretty intense to film in there because it's all falling down as we were filming.
Right.
So it was very cool.
Can't
Now,
wait to see it.
Have you ever felt like you've taken anything home with you from, you know, some of the locations you've been at filming or investigating?
I think there was a feeling. I don't know if I told you this before, but when we did the Exorcist story and we played it in St. Louis at the theaters, and it did very well. We did it only 2 nights, but it got sold out and it was very successful. We played it in the St. Louis Fox Theater,
Right.
the Exorcist file. And that night I was staying at the I think it was a Mayfair, I think it's called. They changed the name recently. There was no hotel downtown St. Louis. And I went to sleep right away. I was tired. I think the show ended at 10, a Q&A, and then we went for drinks at a thing. And by 1 o'clock, I just wanted to go. And I went back to this old hotel I was staying at, a very shining type hotel. And I crawled into bed, and suddenly I felt the sheets being pulled slowly down. And we're like, they aren't like satin, so why are they slipping off my bed, you know? And I looked down, and they're like just going down. I'm like, and you got that feeling like, oh, fuck. You know what I mean? That feeling. And I turned to my left, and this shadow is hovering over me. And it has these 2 horns, but seem to be like almost sawed off. It's like a dog shark looking thing or something. Really weird. And I went, this is weird. And then I felt like I was grabbed and fell out of bed. And then I turned the light on, and I had these claw marks that was around my ankle. So it was just a terrible feeling. And, you know, I'm sitting there naked. So I go get my camera, and I'm sitting in bed going like, all right, if I'm going to get killed, I'm going to film this, right? But nothing happened for the rest of the night. On the way out, I go up to the clerk and I say, did you know? And she goes, the Vigo room is haunted, right? And I'm going, yeah. She goes, yeah, I know that. I said, I could have used that information before I She goes, what happened is, and this is a true story, I think it's called the Mayfair, but they recently changed the name. In the Prohibition days, Al Capone's gang came up on the 4th floor and shot the floor out and killed several people on the floor and in my room that I was staying. So it had an aggression already, it had a darkness. And then with me being involved in The Exorcist, I think it connected and created what had happened, a dark feeling. So when we went home to edit it in Los Angeles, it was just so much. So I sent Gabriel to live with his mom in Indiana for a little while because I didn't want him to be around this darkness, because we were editing The Possessed and The Exorcist file at the same time. So it was like nothing but darkness and darkness and darkness. And then I would see these big shadows through my house all the time. And it wasn't a great feeling. So at that point, I decided, well, we got to wrap this up and, let's clear this and move on. So I felt like something might have came home then. Yeah. And then also with the Attached, the Annalise McKell box, I have seen a figure in the basement quite a bit, darting back and forth.
Had to look that up real quick. And it looks like it's the Magnolia Hotel at 806 St. Charles Street in downtown St. Louis.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a creepy place. It's has old
like
elevators and red carpet and gold elevator. It's very Cecil Hotel. And we went to the Cecil Hotel and spent the night there, me and Philip, when we were shooting a pitch for doing a reality series. We were shooting I wanted to do the story of what really happened at the Cecil Hotel. That was madness. We had to sneak the cameras in because we were doing a pitch, so we weren't really using the footage, but we had to capture it, so we had to sneak the cameras in. So we were covered in like hidden cameras and walking around. And it was like, wow, the people that were there were like out of some kind of David Lynch movie or something. They were very weird and, very strange situation. And the EVPs we got was intense. There's a girl that drowned in the water. We got EVPs that said, I'm in the water. I mean, really incredible stuff like that.
Yeah, that place sounds like it's in fact I had to kind of look it up and this kind of popped up on there. Said it's a very haunted location. So everybody's so familiar with Limp Mansion and everything in St. Louis, but yeah, it sounds like the Mayfair Hotel would be something very interesting to check out.
It is, and it definitely has something dark about it. I always thought Missouri carried a lot of, not Missouri, but St. Louis had a lot of darkness too, because when we went there, and I saw you last, Robin, at the Limp, me and Gabriel got lost and ended up again at the Election Brothers Hospital. Every time I got lost, I ended up at the Exorcist Hospital, the Election Brothers Hospital, and it's still there. And the Lamp Mansion is also a pretty creepy place too.
Yep. So what do you have going on for 2022?
2022, I'm going to wrap up Never Blink. Got some other movies that we're going to get into production. I'm talking about with a company right now doing a paranormal TV series. I'm not sure if we're going to do it or not, but we're talking to them about it. But and also just finish on movies. I'm going to release another album as well, and just stay positive, healthy. I was to turn back the age process. I'm going to get younger every year now. I'm going to go backwards. Everybody goes forwards. I decided I'm going backwards.
Yeah, if that works out, let me know how you do that, will you?
Tell us the secret.
I will blow the life in your mouth. I will.
Yeah, I could use that. So
yes.
So you got some events coming up here pretty quick too, don't you?
Oh no, actually, no events are going on till May. In May, I've never been to the OSP, Ohio State, no,
Oh,
OSR,
yeah,
Ohio State Reformatory. I've never been there, and I'm doing a show there, and I'm excited, and that's in May. And I haven't really thought about. I'm trying to think about booking some shows, but I'm trying to figure what our schedule is because right now I'm under contract to finish this movie, and then some other things I got to do, and I'm talking with Discovery about some things. So I don't know what I'm going to do, and whatever I do, I want to do something different. So I just don't know yet, but I know that OSP we're doing in May, and Silcon I think we're doing. I
right.
think, and
You're gonna
that's
like
it.
Mansfield. I've been up there before, up in Ohio. I've been up there
Yeah,
once
it's really
anyway,
cool.
so yeah, you'll enjoy it up there. It's a fun place.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
You'll get your
It's really cool.
chance. Yeah, get a chance to take your camera with you so you can shoot some pictures up there because it's very photoist. Just a good place to shoot a lot of cool photos.
Oh, I
Oh
bet.
yeah, yeah. You get all kinds of really awesome pictures there.
And you'll be talking about going up there and shooting a movie sometime in the jail because you'll like it up there. And of course, you got to watch Shaw Redemption, because that was shot there.
That's my favorite. Well, I love that movie, and also Marilyn Manson did a few music videos there as well, I believe too. And there was another movie someone was talking about that they shot there too, a big one too. But yeah, I look forward to seeing him. I mean, main thing for me is hopefully the world will get healthier, and everybody's vibes out there will get healthy because it's kind of crazy what's going on. So I just feel safe that I'm just focusing on. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty excited, and I know you know how this feels, Robin. I know if it's with you and your cars and stuff, but I'm excited when I get new equipment in my studio, and I'm just like going like, yeah, this is cool. Fuck life, this is so cool, right? And I miss people, and I miss the shows. But we just got off, as quite a bit of a tour last year.
Right.
And with all this weirdness about tours now, these which I don't know a lot about, like the Vegas show and all these different shows that bottom out and kind of hurt some of the artists and stuff and the performers. So I don't know. It's kind of a weird vibe out there in some of these shows going on now.
Yeah, most of them are probably okay. It's just a few, especially the new ones that just start up, and you get people that are involved in those that don't really, everybody thinks it's so easy to put an event on and put that type of show on, and it's not. It's expensive, and they try to go out there and do it. They can't afford to do it, and so they ultimately just kind of go hiding someplace. And I mean, you were kind of involved. You saw that happen in when we were up at Fort Wayne. Situation.
Yeah,
up
that
there.
was lucky for us. We were so busy I didn't notice it except for the very last day, and then there was a vibe going on, and then I heard. Then Jason came up to me, and a bunch of the people started saying, "Hey, what do you know? This is happening. What's going on?" I go, "I did not know that," and I felt bad, but the volunteers were fabulous, and it seemed like a lot of people were trying really hard, and there was a couple of people, I guess, that was doing the wrong things that destroyed it for everybody, like it always is, right?
Right.
And yeah, Scarefest was fantastic. That was a really great show. There was 8,000 people there this year, so that was pretty cool. So I mean, it's just nice to do some shows and meet your old friends and fans and all that, but for us, we got to bring out something new every time we're there. So I get all the stress in between shows, like I got to have a new book, I got to have a new movie, I got to have a new this, I got to do this, So
Yeah, you and Philip were really just swamped at Scarefest. I remember talked to you guys a couple different times, and you were just always talking to people, and and you told me something that I think a lot of people don't pay any attention to when they do shows. If you're working a show and you're sitting back in your chair watching your phone, playing on your phone, no, people are going to walk right straight by you. They're not even going to stop and talk to you. But you and Philip are not like that. And I don't even know if you guys had a chair in your booth, but you're out in front, you're talking to people, you're having a good time. And therefore people are stopping to talk to you because they're having a good time. So, and that's what it needs to be.
No, we did really, really well at Scarefest, and I know that the numbers and the profit was really incredible for Nicole and Brandon at Scarefest. They did really well, and they needed to, because the year before was rough, and the year before that was a little rough. So they came back with a vengeance. So it's nice to see that they do a lot of charity work, and they work for special needs children. So it was really nice to see that that's what they do all the time in the day, and they really care, for people. And so it's nice to see them, prosper in other things as well. Like you, Robin. It's great to see all this, and of course you too, Mike. And I hope your leg feels better. By the way.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's been a headache.
Yeah. But
Well, we
yeah,
should
so
probably get
we're
wrapped up here so
excited
we don't tell you
about
too much.
just creating more stuff and getting out there and doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, Mike, you got your question you want to ask him, or are you going to forget about it?
Oh yeah. We got to do this. I do this
I got to
every
remind him
time.
every week.
Yeah, I know. I've been slacking. It's hard to focus lately. But yeah, so if you could have any location that you could investigate anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Or maybe in your case, where you could film.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted to investigate Wounded Knee, but the elders felt it was disrespectful to go and try to stir up that, and I respect that. I just think there might be some, people that might need answers, or some kind of closure and some sort of a memorial. But I really want to do that, and I would love to do Auschwitz. And I know I don't mean any disrespect for that. I would just like to try to create some kind of comfort, if you can even do that, for some of these serious genocidal places that you've got to figure they've got to have an incredible amount of, oppression and haunting energy there because of the tragic that has gone. It's just like, in Soul Catcher with the first genocide of the Native Americans. That sort of thing really stands out to me. So I would have loved to just been able to, even if it was just have a tape recorder in my back pocket and do it for personal reasons, to see what kind of questions and kind of energy that I'd be picking up, because I would love to try to help, the memorialize of those places. And I've always wanted to do, if you guys know Buffalo State Hospital in Buffalo, New York, they actually turned it into a bed and breakfast now. We really tried to do it there, and they wouldn't let us because he said that they wouldn't even let John Carpenter in. Okay, John Carpenter wanted to shoot a horror movie there. If you don't know what it looks like, it's incredible. It's an old Gothic building. It has 2 towers, and it's from the turn of the century, and it's one of the most wicked mental asylums. It has wells in the ground where they used to chain the people up. So it's very old Gothic, almost like it'd be from England or something, and it's incredible, but we couldn't get in there, and now they turned it into a bed and breakfast. You can stay there and walk the grounds, I suppose, and get your investigation. I would love to do, maybe some old parts of England, the castles. Last time I was in the castles were in the 80s in England, so I'd love to go do some castles, but we'll see what goes on.
Well, hopefully I don't have to wait until like September before I see you guys at SilCon or something. I think it's September, whenever. I think it's is it September? Yeah, I think September is when SilCon's happening. I don't remember offhand, but
well, I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope not. I know that we should be out of post in the next few months, and then I know that Philip and I will want to try to walk again. But sit behind the editing, because he's editing nonstop and color grading, and because we got new cameras, we got all new 12-bit cameras now, which is next setup, up, and the learning curves just alone on the equipment, is mind-boggling. So you've just got to take, realize it's something you've got to do, but once you've learned it, how can you live without it, So that's kind of where we're at. We're very proud of where we're at. And, it's about growing in life. And if you don't grow, you might want to question that, because that's really what it's about. I know that I've grown an incredible amount in the last couple of years, and I'm very excited. And I think what I've learned, I talked a little about Rob about, and you too, Mike, is I learned to love myself.
Yeah.
And when I did that, it wasn't like an arrogant thing. It was about being more okay with you, and taking care of yourself. And it's magic now. It's absolutely magic, And I think that's important for everybody to realize.
Yep, I agree. You got to love yourself before you can do anything else.
Yep.
So, well, we're gonna kind of a little over the hour here, but we'll let you get back to the editing. You'll be turning around your chair and starting working it, as soon as you get done with us. So,
I have an editing bay here. I have an editing bay here, and then keyboards here, and then we have 3 editing bays downstairs. So, and then a green screen now in the basement. So, yeah.
Oh wow.
It's pretty much crazy.
It sounds like you're all set up everywhere there. So.
Oh, we are. It's like, the Beatles have all their wires, and then the Yoko Onos everywhere. We have equipment everywhere. Well, actually, the Beatles had a lot of toast, a lot of tea, and a lot of cigarettes. Oh my God, just a lot of all that. And it was great to see that show, though. Anyway, thank you guys for having me on.
Thanks for being on.
I miss you very much.
Yeah, we miss you too. And
I hope to see you guys soon. Okay.
Yep. Hopefully, we get back down that way and catch up with you guys before too long.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, if we do some pickups, might want to come out. We're talking about doing some pickups for some other things that we're doing. So.
Yeah, let me know. I'd love to come out and be part of it.
Yeah, we'll probably be filming around the in between you and me is probably where we're going to be.
Okay.
So,
yep, sounds cool.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Have a great evening.
Yep. Have a good night.
Night.
Bye.
See ya.
So yeah, it's great having Chris on.
Yeah. And catch up.
Yep. And actually kind of talked to Philip a little bit today too. And we're going to get him on here sometime, probably in March. He's kind of, obviously their schedule, they're working on their schedule, and then he's going to let me know when he can do something. So we'll see how soon we can get him on.
Yep. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. And those two guys work. I mean, you've seen them a little bit together there and how they do things, but they work so much different because Chris is kind of like the guy that kind of sets everything up, and Philip's the one that does the shots, and they work together, but they work independently too. So it's really kind of cool watching how they work and what they do. So
it is. It's neat.
Yeah. It's kind of cool and how they come up with things. But next week we got Shane Pittman from Holzer Files that'll be with us.
Yep.
So, and we'll have to make sure hopefully Shane's not eating a bunch of cheese while he's sitting there talking to us next week. So like the last time we were sitting there talking to each other and all, I was like, filling out the cheese.
Dinner, yeah, no doubt. It'll be a fun week.
So, yep. Well, it's about time to get out of here. So we'll see everybody out here next week. Same time, same bat channel.
Yep. Tune in next week, guys. And we appreciate you checking out the show tonight.
All right. Check out that YouTube channel for any other episodes we've got out there. So that's a great place to go to it. So LLF Radio on YouTube.
Yep.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys. My name is Mike, and I'm the founder of the Lost Limbs Foundation. The Lost Limbs Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that provides assistance to amputee children in need of prosthetics. I started the charity after my own struggles after my leg being amputated just above the knee. Prosthetics cost thousands of dollars, and the average lifespan is 5 to 7 years on a prosthetic. Kids are constantly growing, so they'll go through multiple prosthetics throughout their life. This is the prosthetic leg that I use, and the cost was about $70,000. The Rhodes Hotel is in Atlanta, Indiana, and is owned and operated by the Lost Limbs Foundation. We are currently doing photo shoots, ghost hunts, and special events to help raise money for the charity. For more information, you can go to lostlimbsfoundation.org. With your help, we can help these kids one step at a time.